So here is something I've realized just recently. While on that spiritual path, the thing is, there is an accelerated version of that spiritual path. And the way it looks like is that every single day, something new is being asked of you. One day, you need to be more patient. Another day, you need to find more stillness. Then the next day, you need to follow your intuition. The next day, you need to seek wisdom within you. The next day, you need to concentrate on your center within you. It's like every day is something different. And if you are experiencing that, like you think you got it, like, okay, I need to practice acceptance right now. That's what you think. So you start practicing it and then it feels right. So what I used to do is I wrote a note and I put it in my pocket, let's say. It's on the phone case on my phone, but it's the same thing basically. So I put it in a place where I was going to see it every day. And then the next day came and I'm trying to practice acceptance and it just doesn't work because that day is not what is trying to get me to focus on. So that journey is the accelerated spiritual path because there is just so much being asked of you. Acceptance, patience. Sometimes you need to follow your intuition and change a situation. So you don't really know what to practice. Well, if you're in that place, stop trying to practice anything. Just allow whatever you feel like you need to practice, just allow it to be practiced by itself. And I don't want to make this an abstract idea. What I mean is that you have an intuitive sense of where you should focus right now at this particular moment. So something happens, let's say, and you get an intuitive feeling, do I have to do something about it or do I need to accept it? So listening to that inner guidance is what will tell you what you need to practice every single day. And then it becomes kind of you're just open. You're open and you're not thinking, okay, now I'm going to practice acceptance. No, you practice whatever the moment requires of you. You practice whatever the situation requires of you. Sometimes you need to change something. Sometimes you need to accept it. It depends on what your so-called lesson is right now. So yeah, that's something I realized recently, and I just wanted to share with you because I know that some people out there are on the same path as I am, and we think that, oh, this practice of acceptance is so useful. Spiritual teachers talk about it. You need to accept, you need to embrace, and nothing wrong with it. It's the truth, sure, but it's never like an absolute. It's not you need to accept absolutely everything. Sometimes you need to change it. Sometimes you need to wait before you change it. Sometimes you need to plan the change. Sometimes you cannot do anything about it and you need to accept whatever you're feeling about that situation. So there is no guideline, there is no map that anyone can give you. And that's perfectly normal. That's perfectly fine on the spiritual path. So don't think that you have figured it out, because the moment you think you have figured it out is the moment where life shows you that you need to give up that trying to figure it out. You can never figure it out. Just experience it. Wherever life presents to you, just flow with it. Sometimes you need to do something about it. Sometimes there is nothing you can do, and how you learn to flow, or they call it Wu Wei, effortless action, or living in Dao. They're all the same thing. It's like you just start allowing to be guided from within. And sometimes your guidance, it doesn't come in words though or in thoughts. It comes as a feeling. It comes as a knowing. You know that something is right or something is not right. And you don't try to spiritually bypass it, like, oh, this situation, let's say, is crushing me, but I need to stay there because I need to practice patience. That's spiritual bypassing. It's you're bypassing the fact that you may need to change something about the situation. While other times you cannot change it, you need to accept it. So, again, no map, no guideline. So, be aware of that feeling of you that feels like you have figured it out, because the moment you figure it out is exactly the next moment you're going to lose it. So let go of that aspect to the best of your ability. And if you cannot let go, if you're still trying to figure it out so badly, then accept that this is it. This is what it is right now. You are trying to figure it out and you cannot stop that. So accept that you cannot accept. Embrace and accept that you are feeling like you need to figure it out and you cannot get rid of that feeling because it's there for a reason. You see, most things that we experience, it's not that we need to come to some logical conclusion because of the experience. The experience is the point. You going through it is the point. That's what it's all about. So there is no thing that you need to use your mind to do. The entire thing is about you experiencing it, be it either something positive or something so-called negative. What you realize is that the so-called negative things, they transform you. They spark something within you, a flame that eventually starts transforming you from the inside out. So be aware of that and don't think that you're somehow on the wrong path. Life keeps throwing things at you all the time, and you experiencing it is the entire point of it. You don't need to solve anything if you can just let go of overthinking too much about things and you just allow something to guide you in the right direction internally by knowing that this is what needs to be done or this is what needs to be accepted. By allowing that inner guidance to flow through you and you give it expression. By giving it expression, I mean that you act on it. Automatically, it will start leading you on the right path. And if you feel like you're on the wrong path, that's part of the journey. You're still on the right path, and you experiencing it as though you're on the wrong path is the entire point of the experience. Because when you feel like you're on the right path, it will feel nice. And then you have a contrast. So you can make the distinction between when am I in alignment and when am I not in alignment. You're always in alignment, but on a practical level, you have to stay in alignment. So once you've experienced what it feels like to not be in alignment, and then you experience what it feels to be in alignment, you see, you have a contrast. So the next time you will know in which direction to go because you know how it feels like to be in alignment. And without that contrast in the first place, you, as this human character that you're playing, could never know what it feels like to be and to not be in alignment. And that's the entire point of the journey. And then remember, you're always on track, but you still have to play your part. You still have to act as though you're doing things. But you remember that it's the life force, it's the divine working through you that does all the things, but still you play your part in this movie, in this game called life, and you participate, you cooperate with the unfolding of your life. So every day, something new will be asked of you if you're on that accelerated spiritual path. And what you apply today, you may not be able to apply tomorrow. That's the thing. And you think like, accept, let's say today you need to accept something. You need to surrender. That's your today's day for surrender and acceptance. While the next day comes around and you try to practice it again because you think that that's the ultimate practice. Okay, it's all about surrender, it's all about this and that. But then you encounter a situation where you need to do something about it. You don't need to accept it. You actually need to do something about it. The life force is guiding you to do something about it. And if you try to practice acceptance and surrender, you will not do anything about it. And it will start eating you from the inside because you need to act on it. And until you act, it will eat you from the inside. While other times, you have no way of changing a situation, and you know that, but you cannot accept it. That's a place for acceptance. That's a moment for acceptance. And it's not that acceptance and surrender are not relevant even when you need to do something about the situation. That's not what I'm saying. All I'm saying is that you can still be fully surrendered and living with acceptance while also participating and doing what needs to be done. And that's the paradox. You remember that everything unfolds the way it needs to unfold. There are no mistakes in this life. Everything is divinely ordained, so you're always on track, no mistakes. But you still appreciate and acknowledge and respect how real this movie feels like. It feels like you're on a journey. You're going somewhere, doing something, experiencing certain things. You're changing this, you're accepting that, and you just participate in that movie and you give respect to that, acknowledging how real it actually seems. So you play your part, but internally you're surrendered. You are not obsessing over figuring it out. You allow life to figure it out for you. And sometimes life does it through you. Of course, you get an intuitive idea or you get a sense of what you need to do or what not to do. So life figures it out for you, but this may happen through you. So it's not that you stop like trying to improve your life, because that's the play. It's like you being on a journey, you improving, you growing spiritually. That's the movie, that's the game. So you fully participate in that, but you remember that the divine is everything, that it's doing the entire effort, and that there are no mistakes. You're always in alignment, even when you're not. And that's the paradox. So if you can intuitively understand this, then something shifts, something clicks, and your state of being changes. You're fully immersed in the game, but it's like you're also witnessing it at the same time. You're immersed, you're playing, but you're also witnessing yourself playing. And that's the paradox, and that's what it feels like for me personally to live in Dao, or to be to function in Wu Wei, so to say, effortless action. If you've never heard about Wu Wei, Google it and see. That's basically doing effort without doing effort, like taking action without the effort being there. It's effortless action because you're participating, but you're also witnessing yourself participating, and that like unlocks something new for you. And that may be the lesson for today, but tomorrow it may be something else. Tomorrow maybe you need to be more patient, maybe you need to take more action, maybe you need to be more aware of certain things, but still this is still there. You're participating, but you're also witnessing yourself participating. And that's like life changing. This I can tell you. So, yeah, that's it for today. Thank you for your time. I hope this video was insightful and to some extent helpful to some of you. Check out the description box. You'll find one single link there, which link leads to all other links. And you find things such as my clothing brand, my website, and everything else you might need. So, yeah, that's it for today. Thank you.